So my parents generate anywhere from $300 to $400 per day on a non-seasonal day selling on Etsy. Now, what do they do? In this video, I wanted to talk about how somebody that's first generation Americans came from Russia. They use ChatGPT to do their customer service because they have a hard time writing, replying to customers. They're not in tune with design, color palettes, what's in style, what's in trend. They're very simple people. And what are they doing that they're able to leave their 9-to-5 jobs and do this from home? And in fact, when Christmas comes around, obviously that's a much bigger number. So what do they do? Well, there are 6 things that they do that makes them generate that income. Now, here's the thing. They could obviously make more. Now, if they were more in tune with design, they were more in tune with styles and trend, and they would make their store a little bit cohesive. Their store is not cohesive by any means. They're just adding things that they think look good, and their photography kind of sucks, and I keep telling them. But then considering that right now is a low season, they're still busy. And so the first very important aspect of what they're doing that works, they have equipment. They have an embroidery machine. Actually, they have 2. Now that they have cash flow, they have 2 embroidery machines. And my dad has a laser machine, a fiber laser machine. So at the end of the day, they have equipment that is able to personalize, that is able to add value to an item that the customers are looking for. When you're able to personalize items, that all of a sudden separates you from China products. It separates you from anybody that's not able to personalize. My parents have the equipment and they provide value using those equipment. Now, yes, you can do a lot with, handmade without using heavy equipment. You can do pottery and you can do a lot of flower pots. But at the end of the day is you need to be able to provide value. And the more equipment or more tools that you have or even skill that you have, the more value you're able to provide for your customers. So they essentially find a product and personalize it. And it's as simple as that. Like I said, the product it doesn't have to be in trending. My dad, when he does engraving on the dog tags or wedding cake knives, he doesn't do the most amazing calligraphy that is going to be drop dead gorgeous, but he personalizes. He just slaps a name that says custom text here and it works. Now, again, it doesn't work perfectly, but it works. So if you're a great graphic designer with absolutely no equipment, or you have equipment and you're just like my dad that's not the most amazing graphic designer, my dad might actually make more money than somebody that's just really good at style but doesn't have the equipment to execute value for the customers. Number 2, something unique to a certain kind of people is they're willing to work for free. What do I mean by that? They don't always think about making money, making tons of money. Now, again, a lot of things are paid off. They're not in desperate need, but they're willing to work for free if they have to. So if a customer complains, they'll just make another one. My mom will go to Joann's, she'll buy fabric, and she's willing to go back and forth if she has to. She doesn't want to buy too much, so she wants to buy a little bit of everything, and so she makes dog bandanas with many different designs. They do photos, and 90% of the stuff that she makes doesn't sell. But the 10% that does, she starts to make money. So she does a lot of work that is not paid for. Like she doesn't get paid for that. But they don't mind doing that because they are hard-working individuals and they enjoy what they love, right? When you enjoy what you love, you're okay working for free. So if you are wanting to grow your business, one thing you can take away from that is that be okay with working for free, or put yourself in a position where you don't go at a loss, or it doesn't take too much of from your life to be able to do it for free. That's really what building a business really means, is being able to put in time that you're not going to get paid for directly, but down the road you will. And for them, because they do what they love, because they're not tied to any heavy bills, and they're able to do that more successfully. Okay, number 3, and this is kind of has to play with number 1, because they have equipment and they are able to provide value that they're able to personalize, and that stuff actually sells, it creates cash flow. Now, also, because my mom was willing to go to Joann's and buy 10 different fabric types at little quantities, and if something sells, she goes back to Joann's to buy more of that. And if that's sold out, then she buys a different flower types, takes another photo, and replaces the thumbnail. She's doing a lot of this work. But what this also does, it creates a variation of listing. It creates a big keyword library, right? She does pink polka dotted, blush polka dotted, white polka dotted. So there's 3 listings right there. Then she does pink floral, peach floral. There's so many different keywords that she's targeting because she's doing this again and again, over and over and over. That creates diversification in their store. Thus, it allows them to generate these sales consistently, and that generates cash flow. When it creates cash flow, you're able to experiment with more product, which means my dad can go on Alibaba and buy more metal keychains and wedding metal spoons that they can sell for Mother's Days, or for spoons for Mother's Day, or little knives that, for groomsmen gift. He's able to buy quantities of that and try and to sell it because they have cash flow, and thus they diversify themselves even more. They just continue to add products to their Etsy shop because they have cash flow that's coming in that they're putting back into the business, which is oftentimes the biggest barrier for a lot of people because they don't have cash flow. They're not allocating cash flow to continual expansion of other products. And number 4, they're taking risks. This is pretty close to number 3, but they're taking risks. They might order 100 units of little switch knives, and they could try selling it. And in fact, that's what my dad started to sell, is little switchblades, personalizing them for groomsmen gifts, and he hasn't sold a single one. But that's fine. He's going on to the next product he's trying to sell. He's going to buy some wallets. He's going to buy some whatever next comes his way. Mom's going to buy some totes, and she's going to try to embroider those. They're taking risks all the time, but you have to have cash flow at the same time. So it kind of works, 3 and 4 kind of work together. It's about expanding and taking those risks as you keep growing. A lot of people get stuck in their own products and they don't want to expand. They hope that the products that they used to sell are going to sell again someday. And it's not an SEO problem. It might not be the design problem. Sometimes it's just continuing to grow, continuing to find other products and try to grow vertically with your list. That might be a great strategy. However, this is strategy number 2. And I talked about this in my course. This is strategy number 2. They're trying to apply it as best as they can because they have the equipment to do strategy number 2. By the way, I wanted to announce that my course is finally out today. So make sure to follow the link in the description. The course will get more expensive as I continue to add content to it and expand the discussions and topics that I have in the course. I'm also going to post exclusive behind the scenes how I start my Etsy shops, because I will start more Etsy shops. I'm actually going to document the whole process. I'm going to share that with the course members. So make sure to sign up because it will get more expensive because the value of the course is going to grow and the community is going to grow as well. People that are willing to pay for a course, they're serious about Etsy shop, and you being part of that is extremely valuable. So make sure to take that opportunity. In fact, this is how I consult my parents, is the information that you will get in that course. I teach my parents what they should do next, how I consult them based on the information that is in the course. And number 5, and this is more specific to their store, is that they focus on $30 to $40 product range. Sometimes they do lower than that, but that's usually where they're at. They're not selling anything too expensive to where it takes a lot more time for them to invest into. It's just very simple. You throw it into an embroidery machine and it embroiders, done. You're not dealing with it any further than that. So that's very specific to them, and they like that because they are able to diversify even further. Something to think about when you are making high ticketed items is a little bit more difficult to create a big library of things because you do need more equipment to be able to do that, and you need more space because they're focusing on $30 to $40 products. They don't need that much space. In fact, all of their stuff is in their living room. And number 6, they actually go way beyond for their customers as far as customer service than I have ever seen anybody. Here's the thing. They're not really good at English, but they use ChatGPT to do a lot of the conversations, which is kind of cool. But they go way beyond for customers. They get emotionally attached to customers, and if customers complain, they take it really personally, which I try to get them away from that because it's not healthy for any person to get so attached to emotionally to the customers. But they go beyond to the customer than anybody that I know of, and that actually generates a lot more income for them because people have built a relationship with them specifically, not just with the Etsy marketplace, but with them directly, which actually translates that they get a lot of return customers. So do you need to be a crazy designer that's onto trend? No, it definitely helps, and it really helps you when you're growing your business. Fundamentally, the things that you need to do, they are doing, and it works, right? Do you have a way to provide value? Do you have equipment or skill to provide value? Are you willing to work beyond than what you're expected to so that you can bring more value and continue to replicate the formula that is working, diversify yourself, create the cash flow that then will allow you to take more risk? At the end of the day, you're building a business. My dad used to have an auto body business, so he understands that there are elements of the business that's not always the shiny car that comes out at the end, but it's all the infrastructure, the inside the shop, the inside the room, inside of your studio that really matters, and how that operates. Then that will determine how shiny the car that will come out at the end of the whole process. Now, one thing about my parents is they're very big copycats. Now, it's important to copy some products, but not all of them. Now, I talk about copying products and how that has brought me money and how you need to navigate whether you should copy this listing or you should create your own design in this video. So check it out. And don't forget to sign up for that course. The price is going to go up. So I'm hoping to see you in the community. Until next time, have a good one.